So thank you ladies so much for taking the time to be here tonight. I know all of you are very, very busy women. And we're very honored to have you here to talk to us tonight. Share a little bit about your journey and how you got to where you are. So with that, I don't want to take up too much time because I know we all have things to do. I'll just kind of go around the table here and let each of you kind of explain. My dogs want to join too. They just kind of give a little background about who you are and you know what you're currently doing, and then we'll go into the questions round table style. So I'm going to go just in the order that I see you on my screen. So I've got Sarah on the top left if you want to start.
Hello, ladies. I'm Sarah Dufault. I'm a registered professional engineer in the state of Florida, Louisiana, and Texas. I'm also a LEED AP certified in design and sustainability construction. I have been practicing engineering for nearly 30 years, 20 of which has been servicing the Florida Department of Transportation. I'm currently working as a consultant to the Florida Department of Transportation in Miami, Florida, as Deputy Project Manager for the I-395 project in downtown Miami.
All right, next I see Roxana.
Hi everyone, how are you doing? I'm Roxana Ayarre. I'm a professional engineer with the state of Florida, and I'm currently working in Miami-Dade County Department of Transportation and Public Works. I am there an engineer 3, and I am the section head of engineering and contracts. Contracts and specification sections. Before I did a little bit of construction design, and I have over 7 years experience in the engineering and construction industry.
Awesome, thank you. Next up, I see Judy.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you for having me. My name is Judy Solon Gonzalez. I am the District Project Manager Engineer for District 6, FDOT District 6. I have 20 years of experience in engineering, and I've been working most of my 20 years for the department. The first thing I did was a PE training program in District 4, and then I moved to the structures department where I spent about 5 years. Then I moved to consultant management, where I spent a number of years managing different projects. Moved to the consultant world, to HNTB for about a year to manage the Southwest A36 extension PD&E project. And after a year, I came back to the department to manage one of the groups in consultant management. I became the leader of that group, and that's what I've been doing for the past 5 years.
Awesome, thank you, Judy. Gloria.
Good afternoon, good evening, everybody. I'm Gloria Suarez. I work in construction and inspection, engineering inspection for 2 years. And I recently started working as a structural engineer. My experience, I graduated in December 2018. So I'm still like a junior engineer, but I'm working to, you know, for a better future for everybody.
Thank you, Gloria. And last but not least, Juliana. You're muted.
I'm muted. Yep, I was muted, sorry. Hi everybody. My name is Juliana, and I'm a professional engineer in Florida. I've been working at the Turnpike. I'm in the structure maintenance program, team. I've been there for 21 years. We get a variety of different fields, you know, in our job as an engineer. You just think you're going to be designing, but maintenance is a big part of after you build the structure. So, you know, we take care of a lot of structures on the turnpike, bridges, signs, high masts, and culverts. So it's been an interesting job, to say the least. Thanks.
I noticed from your bio that there's like over 2,000 structures you guys maintain.
Yep.
That's a lot.
Wow.
Every 2 years, everything gets inspected.
Wow. Well, thank you ladies so much for taking time out and volunteering to be part of this panel tonight. Like I said, I'm just gonna go around and ask some questions. These are questions that were submitted by some of our members that they're interested in knowing, you know, how you got to where you are today and kind of give them some guidance for their career path. So the first question is, what was your first job in the industry and how do you think it helped shape your career path? So Juliana, since you're on the screen, we'll go ahead and go with you.
Well, I was an intern, my first job in school. You know, in the summers, I wasn't allowed to go to school for whatever reason. So I had my first internship, and I was a designer. I was working for a designer in Miami. My first job was at the turnpike. You know, after I graduated, I found that job, and that so lucky that I got that job.
How do you think that helped you with your career?
Well, I mean, for us, my team in maintenance, it's a lot different than just like a designer, I guess. You know, we do different things. It's the same thing, but not the same thing, because things come up and you have to figure out things that, you know, we have to use like reverse engineering for things. But I mean, you just have to, you know, figure it out. And, you know, I mean, that's the engineering is, it helps you engineer your way out of finding things.
Problem solving.
Pretty much.
All right. Roxana, what about you? What was your first job in the industry and how do you think it helped shape your career?
Well, actually, I started studying chemical engineering back in Cuba. It was when I was 18 years old. But then later I moved to the United States. I couldn't finish my studies as a chemical engineer. So I started working in 2010 with this professional engineer. It was a very small company of structural engineering. I was a CAD drafter in that company. And I learned the principles of wind analysis, the structural designs, and also I learned to perform mechanical, electrical, and plumbing design. That was the first, in my opinion, the first job that helped me to select civil engineering, because here in Florida, in South Florida, Miami, where I'm residing, pretty much here where I live, we don't have that program. There's no university offering the chemical engineering program here. So I had to move to Gainesville to UF. And at that time I couldn't afford housing and tuition. So I decided to stay and change my career. And then I picked civil engineering. I believe I was very lucky to start working with this in this very small structural company, and decided to go and pursue the civil engineering industry instead of going after the chemical engineering industry. I'm grateful for that, and I really enjoy that change of path in my life.
Do you think the chemical engineering helps you in your day-to-day now, or you don't really use it much?
What I learned there, yes, of course, I use it a lot. Sometimes, no. Where I am right now, I've been a year in the Department of Transportation and Public Works doing, as I mentioned before, in contracts and specifications. And we do contracts, but we have the legal part, but we also review plans, and we also have the technical specifications. We are supposed, when we have time, to write those technical specifications for DTPW, and that helps a lot. Right now, we are trying to get our own standard specs. We go a lot by Florida Department of Transportation, and we are trying to get our own standard specs when it comes to structure for bridges, and so we are trying to get that section done, and that expertise helped me a lot.
Yeah, that's a big undertaking for sure. Getting the specs written.
Yeah.
Judy, what about you? What was your first career in the industry, and how do you think it helped shape your current career path?
So my first job in the industry was when I was still in college. It was during my last year of college. I joined a very small firm, and when I mean small, it doesn't get smaller than that. It was a 3-person firm. The name of the firm was Rata and Associates, which now they're known as SRS Engineering. Mainly what the company did back then was land development. So I learned how to design parking lots, how to drain the parking lots properly, how to calculate French drain, and a little bit of water and sewer. They helped me get the first perspective of real engineering. It was a great company. The company has grown a lot, and because it was such a small firm, I was able to be involved in absolutely everything. Jean-Claude Fontanou and Serrata and Associates, and Serrata, which is the owner, they're still there today, and they do great work. They don't work for the state, so I really wanted to get more experience in transportation. And when I graduated from college, I decided to join the P training program in FDOT. I started in District 4. But I lived in Miami, so 1 year later I moved to District 6 to finish the program. And when I finished the program 18 months later, I decided to specialize in structures. So I don't know what to tell you. My first real job was Serrata and Associates, and it really helped me know that I wanted to do a lot more. I wanted to see more. I wanted to understand the different aspects of civil engineering. So I feel he really allowed where I am today.
Did you find that working at a small firm kind of made you wear many?
I feel he really allowed for where I am today.
Did you find that working at a small firm helped you kind of wear different hats?
Definitely. Everybody there did a little bit of everything, and I was even involved in the pursuing projects. So yeah, it was great for me.
Awesome, thank you. Sarah, what was your first job in the industry, and how do you think it helped shape your career?
My first job, excuse me. My first job was also for a small firm. It was a design and land surveying firm. The way it helped me was that we had to do everything. We were a small firm, so from drawing preparing the drawings on an actual board, and we develop into. We moved through AutoCAD. That probably explains a little bit about my age, but we went from grabbing the pen, developing the plans, boundaries and survey, and designing. We design structures, we design major water and sewer systems. And even though we were a small firm, the owners, whose name was Crowder and Mahoney, they're no longer in existence. I was able to see a project from just the get-go to construction. I think it helped me focus on the big picture. Working as a design / construction gave me the first taste of wanting to be a construction engineer. So I think it helped. It helped to wear several hats.
Awesome, thank you. Gloria, what about you?
Well, I did 2 internships before I graduated in different companies in land development and water and sewer. But my first full-time job was with Pinnacle Consulting Enterprise at Golden Glades, at the Golden Glades project. And that project and I'm glad that my first full-time project defines what I really love, which is a structure. I already know a little bit because of the classes that I took. Were really, I like it and enjoy. I even enjoyed the test. That, like, for me, that wasn't even a test, but it really defines starting up with Pinnacle in the Golden Glades. Helped me to define that it was a structure what I really like. And well, it was, since it was construction, it gave me a great idea of how everything is built, and I got familiar with all the specifications and with the plan, and I saw it from it was when it was nothing, it was just, you know, dirt there, and I was able to really see the foundations and the installation of the precast and the CMU walls and cobbles, so all those things related to a structural So yeah, it helped me to define my career path, definitely, because I was able to see it and to work in that path.
Awesome, thank you.
Angela.
So a lot of us work in male-dominated industry, right? Whether it's design, maybe a little bit more women than construction, but we're definitely outnumbered. So with that, just want to kind of get your experience being a female in this field. Do you think it was something that was challenging? Do you think it was something that wasn't a big deal, or how was your experience with it? And Juliana, you're popped up on my screen, so we'll go with you first.
Well, you know, it's been 21 years that I've been working at the Turnpike, my first job. And to say the least, in my remember my first like 10 years, every meeting I had with this, you know, I worked for the Turnpike, so we're like a district. So when we would go to district meetings, I would be like the only girl. Everybody else was a guy. So I had to get used to that a lot. But now there's a lot more women whenever I go to those meetings, and even in my office, 3 like upper heads are all females. So I think things are turning around for us, you know, thank God.
A power shift. Did you ever get any kind of special treatment being a female?
No, actually, well, I don't know. You know, there's the conflicts with some men that, you know, think they're above and beyond, but, you know, I just stood my ground and I was like, hey, I emailed you, I called you, you know? So, but no, yeah, I mean, you just have to like learn, you know, just try to go with the flow and, you know, and stand your ground, you know, where you're
Awesome.
be true to yourself, you know, if you know that you're gonna, you know, if you have an opinion about something.
That's good advice. Sarah, what about you?
Well, I was outnumbered for many years. And yeah, the men industry somewhat used to consider girls to be fragile. But as the years went by, I learned that working and standing my ground and earning the respect of a male engineer or peer in the industry made it easier and made it fun. I remember one time in one project, this was a long time ago, I was, one of the guys was saying, oh, wow, you're a female engineer. Oh my God, you know, what is your family an engineer? How did you get into this, lady? And I go, well, I did. So we worked together. He put challenges, and as the project evolved, he became my best friend. And he worked for a company that had safety meetings and stuff like that regularly because it was projects under construction. And they gifted me a pink hat. Oh, little did I know. I go, wow, pink, girl, you know? And then it's funny because some of the people were like, Sarah, they gave you that pink hard hat because they want to know when you get to the project where you are so they can come on and hide. But I believe that respect gives expects respect back. It hasn't been easy. We're not there yet. But I think with the enthusiasm and the passion, it's contagious. And I believe that earns a lot of the male respect.
Judy, what about your experience being a female in this industry?
I think I agree with Sarah and Julie. We're definitely still outnumbered. But I honestly, I've never felt that I've had less opportunities because I'm a woman. I really believe that what really matters is hard work, is the quality of your work, is your knowledge, your experience, and not really your gender. I've been fortunate that I've had real strong examples of women in my own family. My mom is a civil engineer herself, and my sister as well. So I think it helps. I never saw me being a woman as a challenge in this industry. On the contrary, I manage a group of 17 engineers, and I would say 60% of it is women. So we're definitely dominating, at least in consultant management in District 6. And we don't hire just because they're women, we hire the most qualified person for the job. I think we do have advantages also in the field. We, you know, as women, most of us are really detail oriented more so than men. We're great at multitasking, and I think those are great benefits to managing projects. I really haven't felt any difference for being a female. I'm proud to be a woman. I'm proud to be a mother, a wife, an engineer, and to be able to balance all the responsibilities that come with it. So it's been a good experience for this 20 years, for sure.
Awesome. That's so good to hear. Gloria, what about your experience?
Well, I share the same thought that all of you just said, and I just want to add that as long as you feel confident, and I feel the same. I don't feel like it's because it's a male it's true, it's a male dominated industry. There are actually, I was the only woman in the Golden Glades as an inspector, but I enjoy my work. I was confident, and I like it. I put a hard work, and I like it. I think the most important thing is to be passionate about what you're doing. And when you're doing that, nothing else matters. Like I had some stories. I was told one day, what are you doing here? Like, you're a woman. I said, but I'm an engineer, and this is what I like, and that's why I'm here. So what? I'm here. So what? So I think it also requires a little bit of humor and positive attitude, because maybe someone else will say, oh, this guy told me this, or maybe that, or it's not like, sometimes they say things that we maybe we say, oh my God, he said, I mean, they don't try to be, to make us feel bad. They just said it, and the way you take it is what defines you. I was also one time, I want to go in a man lift to check the bridge reinforcement that they were doing. They told me, there is no one woman lift here. They told me, there is no woman lift here. Like, I said, I know, but I will get into a man lift then. If there is not a woman lift, I will get into them. And I started laughing. So that's it. It passed. I didn't hurt me. I didn't feel bad. I was doing what I like, and I did it. And I checked the reinforcement, even though there was no woman lift. And that's it.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's true. That's a true story.
Roxana, what about your experience?
Yeah, well, I believe, yes, it's very hard sometimes to fit in the construction industry. Like you said, I share the same opinion that you have, guys. I have before being where I am, I was in the construction as a construction manager in Miami-Dade Water and Sewer. And I had some inspectors under my direct supervision. They were men. When I first started there, they believed she doesn't know, she's going to be my supervisor and she doesn't know more than me about this. And then at the beginning, I try to fit in and I try to demonstrate that I could do it and I know and I can be a good supervisor for them, until I stopped doing that and I said I'm gonna be myself and start enjoying what I'm doing. And eventually they will notice. If I know something, they will notice that I know. And if I don't know something, I will get the information from either from the technical specs and from the plans or from my experience as a designer before. So, and that's how I fit in. I could fit in, showing them that without even noticing that I was getting what I really wanted from the beginning. But yes, it's very tough to fit in this industry when you're a woman. But actually, when I was a student, I remember that we were a few in a classroom of engineers, but we were, I believe, the best, because what Judy said, we are very detail oriented. We are very responsible. Those are our characteristics as mother, as wives, as women, our nature in life. You know, we come with it. That's something that they cannot change. In this industry, we've been becoming bosses every day. We've been reaching those positions, very high positions. So they gotta get adapted to follow our instructions. That's it.
For your personal experience, I know that you started your education and your career path in Cuba. Do you feel that it was any different there than it is here?
Yes. Over there, I see more women, a lot of more women involved in engineering. So it's very normal over there. I used to study in Kuhai University, which is a university for engineers. I was studying chemical engineering. Chemical engineering is, I believe, is a bachelor that has more women enrolled, but also the other bachelors, you can see that there are more women in that industry, both a lot more than here, probably. So
wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's very, people like studying engineering there. They love it.
That's awesome. Well, since you're on the screen, what's the favorite part of your job?
Of my job, I believe as an engineer, I enjoy problem solving. I enjoy that a lot. I enjoy the challenge. When you are designing, when you are analyzing, doing analysis, I really enjoy working with numbers. I like that part. And what I enjoy as a civil engineering is that you have both sides. You have the field experience and also you have the office experience. So you analyze everything, that you create everything at the office, and then later you can see build in the field. You can see the products and you can see something become true. So I like both, to be honest. I like, that's why I've been moving from design to construction now. I'm in contracts and specs to get experience of everything. But yeah, I like the idea of going out to the field and check what you're doing and see the something that you created in the office being built. I love that.
Yeah, that's probably the most rewarding thing about civil engineering. I'd have to agree.
Yeah, you're not stuck in an office.
Yeah, exactly. Sarah, what's your favorite part of your job?
Bragging about my projects. I love to brag because you see the project out there, you go out there, you spend nights when there is night operations, you solve conflicts, you deal with the unexpected. And when the whole project materializes, it's like, that's my project. Matter of fact, I remember when I was working for my second employer that we did a roadway widening for Miami-Dade County. And I was the designer and also the construction project manager. And this roadway happened to be close to the zoo area. And my parents lived by. And so my father used to tell the whole world, oh, that's Sarah's road. That's Sarah's road. It's amazing though. To this day, my parents are no longer alive, but I drive through it and I go, this is my road. And I tell that to my kids, and I will tell that to my grandson.
Yeah, awesome. Our parents are always our biggest fans. Julia, what's your favorite part?
Well, mine is, I like my team. We have a good team. We're a group of 6 that, take care of the whole turnpike, all the structures on the turnpike. And the unexpected, the problem solving. I mean, just about anything. I'm lucky that I like my job. I mean, does every now and then I do get pissed off or something, but I am very lucky where I ended up. I'm fortunate. My boss is the best. All the bosses I've had there, they always help me to better myself. So I've been lucky. Very good place to work.
Yeah, having a good team makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
Judy, what about you?
Well, yeah, it's true. Turnpike is great. District 6 is a little better. No, I'm joking. No, as a manager, I think what I enjoy the most is seeing young engineers grow and become better and more confident and great at their jobs. We have, several that started with us without any experience. I don't know if you know Yvette Fontanella. She's one of them. She's, she started with us 5 years ago with no experience, and now she's managing really good, complicated projects. Has learned a lot. Lola, another one. She's she has about 18 years of experience now. And she's managing the project that Sara is working on, the I-395 project, which is the biggest job we have right now, and she is great. Fabiana, another great project manager. She worked on for many years on the Golden Glades interchange project. So pretty challenging projects, and they're doing great. So I really enjoy the mentoring part, just being there for them. And like everybody else here, as an engineer, I love the problem solving, solving issues, challenges in projects. Sometimes they're engineering related. Sometimes they have nothing to do with engineering, and they're more, a challenge with an elected official, and we need to come up with ways to move the projects forward. Sometimes it has to do with a utility conflict that we need to resolve. Not always is they're technical. I enjoy both, the technical and the not technical, but being there for the staff and helping them solve issues is one of the things that I enjoy the most.
Yeah, I can imagine that's extremely rewarding to see your hard work come to fruition.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Gloria, I know you just had a recent career change. But what is your favorite part of your job?
My favorite part, well, one of them is the same as you all already said, that is problem solving. the harder the better. I'm masochist. I recognize that I'm like that. The harder the better. I love working in team. As a matter of fact, I speak with my engineer friends every day, like 3 of them every single day, to speak things about engineering or whatever, something related. And seeing a build is, I love it, and especially structures. I also like railway and everything that is engineering related, but seeing like building, build or a bridge or something like that is something that is my passion. So, yep, that's
Awesome. Something that I think all of us experience, especially working in this very challenging field, is stress, right? So Gloria, how do you manage the stress of and the pressure of the job?
I laugh. Like right now, I'm when I'm speaking in public, I get a little bit nervous. So every time I'm stressed out or nervous or something, I laugh. That's the way I relieve myself. It's something voluntary.
But it works for you.
Yeah, it worked. It worked sometimes.
Sarah, what about you? How do you manage stress?
Well, first of all, I accept stress as part of the job. So to manage the stress, I practice CrossFit, weightlifting, and aerobics, intense. I also engage in philanthropic rescue of stray cats, and neuter them and release. And I practice yoga. It might be like a lot, but I do this after hours. I love it because, first of all, it releases the famous endorphins of feeling good. It also makes your day, it doesn't matter how difficult it was, just go away, because you work out so hard, you barely have energy to feel mad. And sometimes I have a difficult day in the field. Oh, that day I lift heavy. Why? Because I got all that stress. And I think that just gives me that power. And once I drop those weights, I'm like, woof, I did it. So I think that's practicing something other than engineering. It's a great thing to do. Another thing that I love doing is practicing as part of the contribution thing in engineering, the construction career days. 17 years ago, the Department of Transportation started this to inspire senior high school students in the field of construction and engineering. And I have been a participant member for the last 17 years. And I have seen many of those kids who walk through the career days as senior high school students to engineers. And that is fantastic. So practice yoga and do a little bit of good.
Yeah, your brain doesn't have time to think about the stress when you're lifting those heavy weights. Julie, what about you? How do you manage your stress?
I take breaks if I'm overwhelmed with all the work that we get. Make sure I have my to-do list so I don't, I know which ones are more critical. And I play tennis for fun, just to relieve my tensions. And like she said, like I might lose, but you just feel so accomplished after the whole hour and a half of running. And I don't lift weights that much, but I just play tennis and maybe go running. But that's about my part.
Awesome.
Hey, Angela. Hi.
Yes, I heard somebody.
Can I say something? Can I?
Absolutely.
Great. My name is Melissa, and I'm from Motorola, and I'm from a completely different industry. But hearing all of you ladies talk about your experiences, it's really encouraging to me because even though we're in different areas, completely different areas, you're talking about similar experiences. And you're in an industry like me where you work and lead basically all men, and similar experience that I have. And it's so great to hear you guys talk. And same thing, you're project leaders, you take an active leadership role, you're totally into problem solving, as all engineers are, right? And then all of you have mentioned that you're multitaskers. And when I look around here at the screen and see all of your faces, you're all smiling. And then as you're talking, you have positive outlooks. And then you even worked in how you're participating with STEM events in the field in our community. And so even though we're in totally different areas, we really are, we all have the same behaviors. It's so encouraging. I'm so glad I joined tonight's session and got to hear all of you talk. It's really uplifting and very motivational for me. So thank you, ladies. This has been wonderful.
Melissa, that's great. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for sharing.
Thank you.
Sometimes with these Zoom meetings, it's kind of weird because we talk to ourselves, I feel like. So for the interaction from the crowd is very, very welcoming. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
I believe Roxana, if you want to say how you deal with your stress.
Well, actually, I'm always I have a lot of games in my cell phone that I play with, like block games, Mexican train dominoes, all those games, and also trying to RoomScape games that I love. So I use those, but also I take a break, and I always try to, before making a final decision or making a decision to solve any issue that might arise in the workplace, I always try to sit down, calm down, and think clear, organize my ideas, and then make a final decision with with my mind fresh. So that's what I always try to do. And if I need to get a second opinion, I always go to my supervisor or to anyone to get a second opinion. That's what I do to manage stress, which in the construction industry is very common, have stress in the workplace, principally in the job site where you are during construction. If you have a conflict of you have to make a change in the design, or you have to make a decision quick because you have the construction crew stop waiting for you. That's the way how I manage my stress. I try to relax myself and think, review everything, and then make the decision at that moment. So that's how I handle it.
Awesome. So kind of piggybacking on Melissa's comments about kind of what SWE does with encouraging young engineers, encouraging young women to get involved in this field. Roxana, do you have any advice for girls that are interested in STEM careers or engineering?
Oh yeah, sure. I think, like I said before, I'm very glad to join civil engineering, and I'm very glad to with what I have learned during my career and what I've become from when I started. I'm glad to. I think it's a very good path. It's a very decent career. We make a decent salary. We don't and we create things. We solve problems. We provide solutions to issues, and we work with, very important, we work with the welfare of the people. We work with sometimes with the health of the people, and we provide transportation. We supply water. We take care of the of their sewer and their drainage. We provide shelter for the people, for the communities. I mean, I believe our job is very important. That's the way how I see it. And I'm very glad to become an engineer. My advice for you is if you want to become an engineer, be persistent and be very detail oriented and follow your dreams, because if you don't follow your dreams, someone else will do it for you. I came to this country without talking English. I didn't know English before, and I ended up studying at Florida International University. I'm pursuing the dream of becoming a professional engineer, and I got it. And I believe that if I did it, young engineers can do it also. Anyone can do it. So.
Awesome. Thank you, Roxana. Gloria, what about you?
I would, what was the, can you repeat the question? It's,
Sure. What advice would you give to young females that are interested in STEM careers, or how would you encourage them to pursue engineering?
Well, if they are interested in STEM engineer, I would recommend them to start doing internships. I think the internships that I did helped me a lot to define my career even before I graduated. And of course, when I graduated, even more, but doing internships as much as they can is very helpful. Also, looking for advice. There's always someone that you will have that is gonna be, that you need to always look for someone that can be your mentor, that can help you, that can give you advice, because no one knows everything in this life. And since they are young, they need that. They need to be guided. They need advice, and we can help them. That's what we're here for as well. And also build your resume. Another advice that I always give to all students that are in the interested in STEM career is build your resume with actions. Usually, because we study an engineering career or a STEM career, it's really difficult to be involved in other activities, and you get concentrated only on the work. And I think building the resume with extracurricular activities is really important. It helps you a lot, also with communication skills. I myself, I came the same as Roxana. I studied chemical engineering actually in Cuba. I couldn't graduate because I came to the US 9 years ago, and I was very shy. As a matter of fact, I'm a shy person, not with my friends, but when I am speaking in public. And I think that being in extracurricular activities and being in leadership positions have helped me a lot to overcome that situation. And also you get the satisfaction that you help others when you do, I don't know, something, it could be anything that you can do extracurricular, and you are helping, like, I don't know, picking up in the beach or something. It's not engineering related, but it helps you to communicate with others and to do something for the community, which is at the end of the day what we do when we are doing engineering. So I give you a purpose. Other than that, do not give up. Do not give up. I haven't given up. No, none of you haven't given up. Look where we are now. So do not give up. Never.
Thank you,
If
Gloria.
you fail, you start again.
Judy, what advice would you give young females looking to get into this industry?
Definitely to work hard. Hard work definitely pays off. To not be afraid of getting into uncomfortable situations. That's really when you grow the most in your career. I can tell you that when I got the Palmetto Express Lanes project, and they gave it to me to manage, I have never done a design build. I have never done an express lanes project. I didn't know anything about concept of operations or RTBM or all these fancy terms. And I really think that's the project that really shaped my career and helped me get where I am today. So get uncomfortable. That's when you grow the most. Also to network, I think it's important for us to network with each other. We don't do anything as individuals in this industry. We work in teams. It's important to develop those relationships, and also to be patient. I see sometimes that engineers at the beginning of their careers, they want to immediately become managers. I think they need to work their trade, like what Gloria was saying, and become technical first, because that builds a foundation for becoming great leaders in the future. So be patient, work hard, and develop relationships.
Yeah, that's so important, Judy. You know, we all come out of college thinking we know everything. But
we don't.
It's a great way to look at it. Be humble, you know, do your time, start from the beginning, and you'll go far. Julie, do you have any advice that you would give young females that want to pursue engineering?
To never give up, because if I became an engineer, anybody can be an engineer. But never give up. You know, I don't even know how many times I took the PE, but I got it eventually and I passed. And I think, I mean, I'm in maintenance. So now we're always be ready for change, which is, I guess, you know, be uncomfortable in a way. But, you know, being at the Turnpike for so long, I've seen the Turnpike evolve, or at least what we are doing in structures maintenance, that, you know, it's blowing my mind. Like if I had a better background on computer engineering, it would help me tremendously on what I'm doing now. So, you know, just be ready for learning new things and for change, because, you know, this is an evolution for, you know, for any position that you go for.
Awesome. Sarah, what about you?
Well, I think as women, we have a natural disposition to multitask. So we're engineers. That's it. We're engineers from birth. Now the decision comes and what kind of engineering do we want to do? Do we want to be chemical, mechanical, you know, biomedical? And I think that shapes up as you grow. So my advice to the young girls is ask the questions, get involved. Start with the Girl Scouts. ROTC, the Army has programs where you get your hands dirty building railroad tracks. My husband did. So that's what got him into engineering. Sometimes when we're in college on the first year, we don't know exactly what we want. We know we like problem solving. Sometimes we just want to be rich. But I think that by getting involved in all these activities prior to going to college kind of shapes what kind of engineer you want to be. Don't let the natural fear of math hold you back. Because as I told my kids, I said, calculus, don't worry about it. You'll get that one, just pass it because you will never see it again. So it's all about the natural disposition of problem solving, and go for it. Get involved, ask questions. I remember when I first started, like Judy did, that she said that she got involved with the Palmetto, and she saw that project that was big, and she went head on, and look at it. She saw her fear all go away and materialize in a great project. I had the same hesitation. And I remember an old engineer that worked with me. He told me, Sarah, this was for a design of a major force main underneath Biscayne Bay. This was 140 diameter reinforced pipe. And so that you can literally walk inside. And he goes, Sarah, don't worry. The good engineer is the one that has resources and knows more people. So just sit down, relax, and enjoy the ride. So I did, and I love it.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Well, we're at 7 o'clock, and I know everybody's time is very valuable. So before we part ways, I want to open it up to any of our guests. If they have any questions that they would like to ask the panel, now would be the time to do so. Just go ahead and either unmute yourselves or raise your hand feature. Do we have anybody that has any questions? Rosie, I see your hand is up.
Yes. Hi. Thank you. I just have a quick comment. I just wanted to thank you all for what you've shared. As a woman that is not an engineer, but is in an industry, in the technology industry, that's also very dominated by men. Everything you've shared, it's been very valuable. It's really universal for all women to take with us and to apply in our day-to-day. You all have been very inspiring. So thank you for sharing.
Thank you, Rosie. Anybody else? All right, with that, I really thank you so much, ladies, for participating in this panel. I know you all have very, very busy schedules at home and at work, so we are very grateful for you for tonight. And if you guys have any questions after the fact, you have our email. Feel free to send me anything, and these ladies and myself will be more than happy to answer your questions. So thank you everybody so much for this industry panel tonight, and hopefully we'll have more like it in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So much.
Good night.
Looking forward
It's a
to
pleasure.
more. Thank you.